Hi, Armoured Pants here, and I have another video for you in the French line on the Tier 5, the AMX ELC Bis, or the electric biscuit, and we have a complete guide for you. As always, look into tech spec, and we will have a look in blitzhanger.com, which is a fantastic asset and should be used by all blitzers. Now, this tank is a light tank, and it is very much a light tank in that it has no armour, really fast, etc. Therefore, it has all of the attributes of this tank type. Therefore, if you have not looked at the light tank guide I have on channel, please do so, because you won't have come across light tanks before in the French line. This is the first one, and therefore it's completely different to what you've played before. So please have a look at that guide so you know how to play light tanks, at least the basics, because it is a very different play style to what you've experienced before. Now, this tank has a great gun, 75mm gun. It has a 7.7 second reload when you use gun rammer, which I'd advise you do. I would use supercharged and refined gun should you need to snipe, which you often need to do in a light tank. It has brilliant traverse speed, but it comes with a catch. And the catch is that this tank does not have a full turret. It has a small limited aiming arc, or what you might call a half turret, but it is a flying machine. It's incredibly fast. It is even faster than the Leopard, the German Tier 5 light tank. It has no armor, I mean zero armor. It is paper thin. It is a shell magnet. This tank was originally developed as a concept tank for French paratroopers that could be dropped in and be fast moving, a scout tank, etc. It never came to production though. It has limited traverse, right, and it has a rear mounted turret, so therefore you need to move the tracks to get on target with the turret. You can see here the full aiming arc we've just looked at. Now the tracks are also exposed, so you need 2 repair kits. You don't need the engine accelerator on this thing. Believe me, it is a flying machine. It's very small as well, and that is another advantage that it has. It is extremely small. It's difficult to hit. If you're moving across the map at 65 kilometers an hour in a tank this size, it only has a 2-man crew, you will be almost impossible to hit. People will fire HE at you, so please remember that you are going to attract that high velocity HE shells coming in at you, and your best armor is your movement. If you stop in this thing, you are in serious trouble. But moving at 65 kilometers an hour, it also accelerates like lightning. You can get yourself out of all sorts of trouble. And this low profile, small size means it's very difficult to hit. The aiming time on big guns is more, and therefore if a big gun is trying to track you and you're moving at full speed, it's very difficult. Because of low profile, you will be hidden behind hills, etc. But again, it's worth to note, look at this limited aiming arc of the tank. You need to take note of this, because getting on target is extremely difficult. And what I would recommend is you practice with this tank in a training room before you go out onto the battlefield, because you need to move that turret. You need to move the tracks in the opposite direction to get on target quickly, and this is difficult. You also have limited gun depression of only 5 degrees, and you have very limited, therefore, target acquisition on this tank, and you need to practice with it, otherwise you will become extremely frustrated and you will become a cropper. The light tank aspects of this are prevalent as you move up through the AMX range, so therefore practicing with this, getting proficient with it, is essential. Now, in this map you're going to see all of the good things and the drawbacks of this tank. Now, here you need to control the hill. As you know, in mines I'm really fast, so I'm going to go hell for leather. I'm going to blast up this hill. I'm going to try to gain control of the hill, and I am going to try to spot the enemy. Now look at this tank, see what I mean? It is a flyer. There is nothing going to get up that hill before me, so up I go, and the enemy I spot. Now I'm just going to wait here, because I do not want to push out and to get a shot in on me, but I'm going to take a shot in this Wolverine. You see, shot, the gun is pretty good, but limitations of the tank in that it allows the enemy to get a shot on me. You saw the limitations of the gun and trying to get on target, and you'll see them here again. Look at this, I cannot get a shot on him, and even the slightest incline pops the gun up in the air. So I need to move and relocate. So you see the limitations. In that short sequence of play though, we saw the great asset of it, but also its limitations. Now look at the low profile in action. I come around this hill, able to get a shot on, and they don't even see me for a shot. Look how agile the tank is. I am outmaneuvering, going backwards, this KV1 going forwards. He can't get a shot on me. A normal tank here now, I would be in big trouble, right? KV1 coming one way, Wolverine facing onto me, another KV1 in front. But with this tank, it just blasts its way out of trouble. I am there 1 minute, gone the next. And that is a nice recovery AMX, and that allows me to regroup, take stock, and to try to influence the game elsewhere. If I was in a normal tank, even a medium tank for example, I would not have been able to get myself out of trouble so easily. You see there, I am blasting across here, and even though that KB was trying to get a shot on me, he couldn't, that's what I mean. And now a monster brawl is coming up, and you will see what I mean about this tank. Bam, shot. Now I need to swivel, I need to pull back on the track, swivel around, get on target, bam, take him out. Use the low profile of the tank now to keep myself out of trouble so that Panzer can't get a shot on me. We see just how good the low profile of this tank is. Again, shot on him, reverse, use the maneuverability of the tank, push by him, pull back around, reversing, using reverse to get the shot on again. Now use the speed of the tank, and again, as I said, using the pulling back and then using the good accurate gun to get the kill shot. So here we are again, 2v1 brawl, 1 tier 5 Stug and the Panzer 4D, and just using the maneuverability of the tank. The low profile here again, drop the adrenaline, use the Stug's carcass so that he can't get a shot on me, pull back, no shot for him, get a shot onto him, reverse, push on using the speed of the tank, make him miss, come back around again, and again the reverse, using the reverse and the turret movement to get the shot on. Again, look at his reverse compared to mine, can't get a shot on, and then lastly make him miss again and the kill shot. So we see that sequence of play there just shows how strong this tank can be. I mean, it can be really strong tank. I take one on the way up, but that's it then. After that, the speed of the tank, its low profile, makes it really difficult to get shots in. You can see the Stug is itself a very low profile vehicle, but I'm so low to the ground that the Panzer can't get a shot on me. He's getting frustrated, he's taking shots. Then at the speed of the tank as it accelerate, even with his medium tank traverse speed, can't get a shot on, pull back, traverse, fire. And then lastly the coup de grace into the head using the accurate gun, make him miss again, bam, game over. Now, but as you saw there, circle of death and brawling in this tank is significantly different than you would expect from a normal tank, even a light tank. The lack of full traverse on a turret means that you have to pull the tracks back to swivel the hull in the opposite direction of where you're aiming to pull the tank around to get it aimed up. And that requires a different play style, different set of skills, and therefore that's why I recommend open up a training room when you get this tank, and before you go out to the battlefield, practice getting this tank on target, practice driving it as well, practice playing with it, because it really is fast and difficult to control, and you won't have played anything like it before. You need to get familiar with it. Once you do, then it is a joy to play with and great fun. One of the most fun tanks in tier 5. I mean, who does not like to fly around the map at 65 kilometers an hour? Again, we see the nimble nature of this tank, its agility, you know. And look here, here's a perfect example of swinging around, reversing back in the opposite direction that I want to fire in, pulling that turret around to get on target, and then boom, kill shot, game over. And the mastery badge for me in that game, almost 1.6k of damage, 4 kills, etc. And I think that game exemplifies everything about this tank. The speed, getting up the hill, spotting, the difficulties you have getting shots on target because of the elevation, the low profile, and the limited turning arc. The speed that allows you to get out of trouble, the difficulty the enemy has in getting shots onto you, its brawling skills when played correctly, using its low profile to avoid shots, using any sort of object to cover your very low and small body, using that good accurate gun to inflict damage, getting around the map, and using the speed to stay safe and to keep yourself safe. So I think overall a very good example of what this tank can do and how effective it can be when played to its strengths. Now let's have a recap on the key points of this beautiful tank, because let's face it, it is a beautiful tank. It's a brilliant light tank. Its speed is just perfect, and it's the perfect scout. It has a decent gun, which is very accurate, very reliable, good pen on it as well, and won't let you down. Use supercharge and refined gun because as a light tank scouting you will have to do peek-a-boom and you may shoot from long distances, so you want that extra muzzle velocity. 75mm gun has good pen, an average reload 7.7 seconds, so around the standard for medium tanks in that tier. Excellent muzzle velocity, allows long range shots with the supercharge, 1300 meters per second, which is fantastic. Decent damage, 160 plus damage points, and the real DPM on this as opposed to theoretical DPM is very good because the gun is reliable and it is lightning fast. I mean lightning fast. 65 kilometers per hour, 23 in reverse. To traverse, use the tracks. You need to spin the track, spin the tank on its tracks, pulling it around onto target to alleviate the poor traverse on the turret, because it really is just a half turret as we discussed before. You need to yank that hull around, but once you perfect that you will get on target very quickly, as you saw in the brawl I did with the Stug, the Panzer 4D, and then with the KV-1. But it is a tough tank to master, especially as you haven't played anything like it before. So you need to practice with it. You may get frustrated at the start, that's why I said use a training room. Make sure you've got the basics, then go into battle. But once you get good with this tank, the rewards are fantastic. It is so much fun. Okay, cheers Mush. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Pants out.